Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Andrea Eppolito and I'm here with you today celebrating life, luxury, and above all else, love. Especially now in these times with everything that we are going through with the coronavirus, now more than ever, we need to celebrate love. Now, I'm coming to you from my home office during a time when we have a shelter in place, and the big thing on everybody's mind is, what do I do about my wedding? Do I postpone? Do I cancel? Do I just go down to the courthouse and get married? It's such an unprecedented and very fluid and tumultuous time. I personally got into this industry because I believe that when bad things happen, you need something to look forward to and you need something to look back on. These times when we're able to celebrate love, when we're able to bring together the people that we care about most and allow them to bear witness to a commitment and a relationship and a love that is so profound that in so many ways the marriage already exists, that's what we're celebrating. And it truly breaks my heart that there are couples out there that are in a position to where either they can't celebrate because their wedding is within the next 30 days, or they are just unsure about whether or not they're going to be able to move forward the way that they want to. There's nothing worse for our industry than seeing the dreams of our clients changed and altered and to some extent destroyed. And so my big plea to you is please do not cancel your wedding. Postpone it. Now, the process of postponing a wedding is big and it's all encompassing, and you may feel like you don't even know where to start. And that's why I'm here today, because I want to talk to you about the right way to postpone your wedding. Step number one, the first thing you really need to do is accept the situation that you have found yourself in. Our current climate is not due to any one person. It's not something that you did, and so I don't want you to feel personally responsible or victimized. I want you to understand that throughout your life and throughout your marriage, things are going to happen. Tough things, bad things, things that are going to change the original dream, that your plans aren't always going to go as smoothly as you had hoped. But that doesn't mean that there's not value there. It doesn't mean that they're not worthwhile. And it doesn't mean that you should abandon them in any way. Instead, what I want you to do is sit with your fiance, have a conversation, and acknowledge the fact that you need to make an adjustment. Once the two of you come together and agree that yes, we are going to postpone this wedding, you need to then look at your calendar and come up with a series of dates that are ideal for you in terms of a second, third, and fourth option. Step number two, after you've met with your fiance, you need to call your immediate family and the people that matter most. So for some of you, that is parents. For others, it could be a brother or a best friend. Run the dates by them and ask which, if any of them, work best. Because when you walk down the aisle, you want to be surrounded by the people that matter most. Once you and your family have the path forward and you have a couple of dates, your next call is going to be to your wedding planner. Now, if you are one of my clients, you have already had a conversation with me. The truth is, you've probably had several. But if you have a wedding planner that you haven't really been very transparent with, if you haven't had an opportunity to connect and discuss what your options are, the sooner that you get them involved, the better. And if it's not a wedding planner, if you're out there and you're doing this on your own, then the next call you want to make is to your venue. You want to create an environment where you tell them that you understand it's not their fault, that you appreciate and respect and empathize with the place that they find themselves in terms of having to displace and manage multiple different clients, and that you want to make this as easy for them as possible. Let them know that you've come up with a series of dates, send the dates in, and ask what they're able to accommodate. I can tell you, as somebody who's been in this industry for well over 20 years and who has had my business for nearly 10, every single person that I know, every wedding planner, every venue manager, every catering director is utterly heartbroken for the situation that we know our clients are finding themselves in. All of us are working really, really diligently to make sure that you get placed at a new date that works well for you. Give them a little bit of space, give them time to sort through the options, and then allow them to come back and present you with a new date. After you have the new date, step number 4 is reaching out to all of your vendors. So my personal recommendation is that you start with the vendors that you've made the biggest investment in. For a lot of you, that's going to be decor. For some, it's going to be photo and video. For others, it could be a band. But once you have the new date, you want to go through all of the vendors that are currently set to take part in your wedding. Let them know that obviously, due to Corona, you're no longer going to be able to move forward in a way that makes sense, and give them the new date that you've chosen. Ask if they're available, and if they are, I am sure that they are going to do everything within their power to move their services to that date. But what if they're not? If you find that a vendor that you really love is not available, then have a conversation with them and ask them what they're able to do in terms of providing you with another vendor, of trading a contract, or of swapping out somebody so that you have the same level of quality and service that you were planning to have with them originally. Once you've done this, once you have decided with your fiance, cleared it with your family and friends, selected a new date, and made sure that all of your vendor arrangements are put in place, you have the very difficult task of explaining the situation to your guest. Now, everybody that I know in the world is aware of the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic. And so in a lot of ways, nobody is going to be shocked that this is coming. If anything, I think many of your guests are going to be relieved that you've taken the steps needed to make sure that you're providing them with the safest and healthiest environment so that when they come together to celebrate your wedding, that they do so in a way that puts them at ease and that makes them comfortable, that allows them the peace of mind to get dressed, get on a plane, travel, and walk into a room knowing that they're going to be able to put all of their attention on you without having that nagging voice in the back of their mind wondering if this is okay. There's a couple of different ways that you can explain this and communicate the new date to your guests. The first, if you have enough lead time, is that you can actually work with your printer to come up with a save the date again mailer. And so this can be as simple as a postcard that says save the new date, or save our second date, or we're getting married soon, something, whatever it is that you feel comfortable with. It can match your original invitation suite. This way, if you choose to photograph it, you have a number of beautiful pieces that all kind of play well together. If you don't have that time, if your wedding is in the next 30, 60, or 90 days, then I believe that immediate family and bridal party should always be told in person or over the phone if you're able to do that. Once you've gone through all of these steps, when you've sat with your fiance and determined that yes, you are going to postpone, when you've spoken with your family and friends and committed to a new date that works for everybody, when the venue is available and all of your vendors are on board, now you have the difficult task of explaining the situation to all of your guests. Now, this can be hurtful and you could be nervous and you could be scared, but given the situation today, everybody in the world knows that we're in the middle of a pandemic. And I promise you, if anything, they're going to be relieved by the fact that you've taken the steps necessary to make sure that when they come together, whether it's by plane, by car, or just going around the block, that they're able to attend your wedding with the safety and the peace of mind of knowing that the environment that you've created is the best and the safest so that they can really be present with you on the day. Now, the first thing I would do is communicate this to your immediate family and your bridal party in person or by phone if you can. Once you do that and you tell them, the next thing that you can do is ask your parents to help spread the word through your immediate family, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents. They all should be told by a person. Beyond that, you want to send an immediate email to everybody that you have access to, letting them know that due to Corona and the current situation, that you've taken the steps necessary to make sure that they can attend your wedding in complete and utter confidence, that you've selected a new date, and let them know what the date is. If you have a wedding website, you want to put all of the information there. So have a new landing page, have something that says, welcome to our new wedding date, and then give them the information that they're going to need. For some people, it could be details about how to cancel travel. For others, it might be room blocks and room reservations and how you plan to move forward. You may be hosting things like welcome receptions and Sunday brunches that are suddenly going to be shifted or moved or maybe canceled in its entirety. Whatever the new itinerary is, you want to have it listed and posted someplace where everybody will have access to it, and that's what makes a wedding website, honestly, so fantastic. Now, if you do have time, if you do have time to actually send a mailer, I think that it would be really beautiful to work with your stationery team and come up with a piece that says like, save our wedding date again, or surprise, we have a new wedding date. Anything that you feel comfortable with. Have the paper and the font and the entire piece look like it's an original part of your original wedding stationery suite. This way, on the day of your wedding, when you have all those details photographed, it can look like it fits in seamlessly. The last thing that you really need to do when it comes to postponing your wedding is you need to go through the stages of grief. You need to allow yourself to be sad for a moment about the fact that the wedding that you originally dreamed is not going to happen the way that you originally dreamed it. As somebody, though, who's had a lot of life, as somebody who's got a husband and a marriage and 2 kids and a business, I can tell you that life is never going to be as smooth as you would like it to. There's always going to be hurdles. There's always going to be changes. There's always going to be just stuff that happens. And your ability to acknowledge it, to accept it, and to move on from a place of joy is going to make all the difference in the world. So what I really suggest is that when your original wedding date comes up, I think that you should do something incredibly special. Get dressed up, do your hair and makeup, go out to a great dinner, set candles in the kitchen and dance. Do something wildly romantic so that you can honor the date that you had in place, so that you can acknowledge it and you can sit with it. And then when it's done, you can move on. Because on behalf of the wedding industry, there is nothing that we want more than to open up the doors and send you down the aisle in a way where you can look back and say, I couldn't have wanted anything more. Where when you look back on this, when something else comes up, this moment, this postponement, isn't the thing that defines you in terms of being a scar, but it's the first thing that you overcame together as a married couple on the pathway to a future that I know is going to allow you to celebrate life, luxury, and above all else, love. Please do me a favor. If you have any questions about postponing, if you're a wedding pro and you are challenged with how to move your clients through this, if you just need a place to put your emotions, know that I'm here. That's why this channel exists. That's why myself and everybody in this industry gets up every single day. We are the makers of dream come true. We stand on the sidelines. We want so badly to celebrate your lives because your lives and your love stories are so worth telling. So leave me a comment below. Let me know how you're moving forward with your wedding in a really cool, fun, and interesting way. Let me know if you are altering plans, if you're doing anything crazy and wild and different. Let me know if you're going to elope so that you're actually married, and if you're going to go out and plan a beautiful wedding to celebrate that marriage later. Whatever it is that you do, this is the place where I want you to come share it. We've got a great community. I'm so grateful that you spent your time with me. Stay inside, stay safe, do whatever it is that you need to do to be happy. We as an industry love you, and we're so grateful for the fact that you have trusted us with this part of your life. So thanks so much. We will see you again soon.